let's divide the fraction 1/2 divided by 3 over 5. To do that, we have to take the second fraction and flip it around. We make it the reciprocal. So we leave the first fraction by itself there, 1/2. And when we do that, we flip it around and we create multiplication. So we write the 5 on the top there in the numerator and the 3 on the bottom in the denominator. Now we're ready to just multiply across. 1 times 5, we get 5. 2 times 3, we get 6. And that's our answer, 5 over 6. Let's look at another example. We're going to do the same thing. Here we have -7 over 18 divided by 14 over 27. That second fraction, we have to flip that around. So I'm going to write it as our -7 over 18. And when we flip it around, we create multiplication. And now we're going to write the 27 on the top, the 14 on the bottom. Now we're ready to go ahead and start canceling. To help me cancel, I'm going to write these as factors. So 18, I'm going to write that as some factors there. The 7 I can't break apart, so that's why I'm leaving that alone. 18 I can write as 2 times 9. And then the 27, I can break that as well. I can write the 27 as 3 times 9. I should have wrote this in orange here, right? The 2 and the 9 matched up with the 18. The 14, I can break that apart as well. The 14, I can break that as 2 times 7. Then I'm ready to start canceling. Anything on the top with anything on the bottom. So like the 9 and the other 9 there. This 7 and this 7, I can cancel those two. The 2's I don't cancel because they're both in the denominator. They're both on the bottom of the fraction. So I leave those alone. Then we multiply anything left. On the top we only have a 3. So we leave the 3 there. And in the denominator we have a 2 and another 2. 2 times 2, I get 4. So my final answer is going to be -3 over 4. Let's look at another example here. We have 3 over 4 divided by -12. First thing I'm going to write it as a fraction to help me see what's on the top and what's on the bottom. And again, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to flip this second fraction around and write it as multiplication. So the 3 over 4 we leave alone. Times, we're going to flip that around. And we can write the negative anywhere in the middle or on the bottom. In the end, we're going to just write it in the middle. And then we can start doing factors. So I can break down the 4, but there's not going to be anything on the top I can break down with 4. So I'm only going to break down the 12 because I notice I can break down the 12 and get something that'll cancel out the 3. So I'll leave the 3 over 4 alone for now. And the 1, the 12, I can write the 12. I'm going to just put the negative sign in front, but the 12 I can write as 3 times 4. Then we're ready to cancel out. 3 and 3, that was our goal. The 4's don't cancel. They're both in the denominator. We don't cancel those. And then we just multiply across and we'll be done. There's nothing left on with the 3, and we have the 1. We have the negative sign in front. It doesn't matter where we write the negative sign, but in our final answer, we like to put it right where the fraction bar is. And we get 1 over, and then here we have to multiply the 4 times 4, and we get 16. And that'll be our final answer. Let's look at one more example here. Here we can do the same type of thing with variables. Here we have an x and a y. It won't change any of the parts. Again, we have a fraction divided by a fraction, so we're going to flip around that second fraction and rewrite it. And to save us some time, I'm going to start going ahead and just writing out the factors as well, so we can do that part. 8, I'm going to write that as 4 times 2. And then the 15, I'm going to write that as 3 times 5. And I'm going to do this while I'm doing the flipping. So I flip this around and I get the 25. Right? Here, the 25. And we're going to bring that to the top. And let's write that as 5 times 5. Because that'll be 25. And over here, the 12, I can write as 3 times 4. And we don't want to forget our variables. 4 times 2, we had the x over here, and the y was with the 12. And they're ready to start canceling out. We have a 5 on the bottom here, and a 5 on the top. Cancel out the 4s as well. 4 here, 4 there. And that's it. We can't cancel out the 3s. They're both in the denominator. And we're ready to multiply across and get our final answer. On the top, we have 2x times 5. So we'll get 10x. And on the bottom, we have 3 times 3, and then also a y. 3 times 3 will be 9. And don't forget your y. And that'll be for your final answer.